we are back, kind of.
Sort of.
What?
We don't know.
Welcome to the very first Daddy Issues with Champ in Kingsbury, Minisode.
Minisode. Mini episode.
Yeah, get it? Minisode, mini episode. I think those exist. We didn't create those in podcasts.
No, we're not talking about Minnesota either. But don't you know, gee golly, it's a good viewing.
You always have you've got good accents and impressions, man. I wish I could do it. Everything comes out I got like a southern drawl sometimes.
That's when his drink from the bourbon.
Minnesota. I mean, up in Minnesota.
Oh, don't you know, that's got to have a lot of work there.
Yeah. Okay, so...
This is a Minisode. Basically, we're trying to recap things. It's just going to be us two on this episode.
Yeah. So
anytime
we have a Minisode, it'll just be us, and we'll just be sharing the show. Actually, we're still coming in with little topics and themes to talk about because shit still keeps happening. Right?
Yeah. Life goes on even with after the tragic accidents that happened and befall.
Yeah, so for those that maybe don't know, maybe you don't follow us on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook, but we had an accident. Our MacBook Air
decided to drink a beer.
He drank a beer, and he died.
Yeah, don't.
So we lost a lot of things. We lost our original pilot episode, which we were doing some tweaks on that we were going to drop as a bonus episode later.
We got Ward Anderson.
No, Ward Anderson dropped. We got Ward.
We're missing Rodney.
Rodney Ramsey's episode, which is fantastic. And I've got a guy working on the laptop. Apple told me that it was KIA. But this guy, he's done work on laptops before and made them work.
He's optimistic.
He's optimistic. He's cautiously optimistic that he's going to be able to at least retrieve some files for us. And on the other side of things, we're just waiting to be able to afford to record on something more than an iPhone XR.
Totally. Because now Champ needs every cent because someone joined us. Dun, 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 dun. Someone important.
Oh, yeah, I had a baby. Right.
Someone joined Champ's life forever. So, yeah, that happened.
10 days ago.
10 days ago now.
10 days ago. We're going to talk a little bit about that because today when we kind of jump into things a little bit more, we're going to be talking about birth stories because birth stories are traumatic.
And everybody's got one.
Yeah, everyone's got one. Even if you don't have a baby, you have a birth story because you were fucking born.
Yeah.
And this is the way that we can document these stories to remind these little bastards that they should not be ungrateful because of the things that they did to their mothers' vaginas.
Yes.
Or stomachs.
Or because, stomachs did to their mothers in general.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways, before we jump into that, was there something...
It was friggin'...
We're drinking... Oh, yeah. What are we drinking?
Unsegmented population. We're drinking the finest India Extra Pale Ale from Overflow Brewery. Overflow is located on Calidar Avenue.
And Overflow has a cool comedy show. Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
are we allowed to? Can we promo the shit out of that?
We can promo the shit out of that. There's a little thing called Dirty Birds Comedy Festival that's going off, and Overflow, as well as Vinny Brewing and Stray Dog out in the East End, are hosting 3 of the shows for this festival, and it's going to be huge. It's a huge honor to be able to have each show. The whole show's headliners, guys.
We don't really have a lot of comedy festivals in Ottawa.
No, we really
don't.
No.
And so this is really exciting for us because, we have the Cracking Up the Capital Festival, and that changes every year. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, it's a big-time turkey shoot, for sure.
But at the same time, and that puts some of us local performers at a bit of a disadvantage for getting some credits.
We don't get to showcase and do things like that, and in general, not showcase Ottawa's really great talent.
And it is a great talent. We got a lot of great people here. You're going to meet a lot of them over the next however long we do this.
Yeah, and we've been the Lion's Den for a long time. There's legends and so many important people have come out of Ottawa, and
it's hard not to have a conversation about comedy and not have a comic from Ottawa come up in the conversation. Yeah. In general, we were talking about Dave Chappelle's Netflix special outside just before we came in, and fucking Norm Macdonald in the credits, he's the guy who's with him, right? And I'm like, Norm Macdonald, that's an Ottawa boy, right? He started here.
product. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and then you think of Norm Macdonald, you think of Mike McDonald.
You think of Mike McDonald. Yeah, you think of Jeremy Hotz.
He was just here.
Yeah.
I know. He was here like the week that my baby was being born.
Yeah.
Or I would have been there to see him.
Yeah, exactly. And, not to mention Don Kelly and a bunch of others.
Well, yeah, that's not even counting like the people that still perform locally, right? Like Don Kelly is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hotz was in town recently.
So I actually took a workshop, a therapy workshop on boundaries, barriers, and like burnout. That was taught by Dr. Steve Hotz, who's Jeremy's brother. And so I'm sitting there for the first like 4 hours, and I'm just like, how the fuck do I know this guy? And then he would put his hand, like his elbow in his hand, and he'd put his fist up to his chin, and he would mutter something under his breath. I was like, he's fucking Jeremy Hotz's brother. And I went up to him and I was like, you're Jeremy Hotz's brother. He's like, yeah. He just had a new special come out. Jeremy Hotz did. Go check it out.
Check out Hotz for sure. As well as check out the new Chappelle. Good or bad, there's going to be...
whether you hate it or like it, people are talking about it, so be informed.
Yeah. We're part about this one. For sure. All right, so that's what we're drinking. That's what we're doing.
I'm trying their India Pale Ale.
Their Pilsner is awesome, and it takes a while to make a Pilsner. So when you find a Pilsner, that's really good. Yeah.
It's hard to find a good Pilsner, right? Yeah. Like my go-to Steam Whistle, just because like as much as it's like
a little bit tart, but yeah, I mean, I go for the old-fashioned like. Pilsner, the
$2 can ones.
The $2 can ones, yeah. That's what my granddad.
In America, for the Americans, that's like our cheapest tall boy. Like,
cheapest tall boy. It's $2.
It's not great hip here.
No, it's not. Definitely sometimes requires a little bit of tomato juice, just to mellow it out. But yeah, so this it's good beer. What we're drinking, and cheers. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome. So go to check out their comedy festival. We started there.
Yeah, right? DirtyBirdsComedyFestival.com. And check that out. There's tickets online and available at a bunch of different stages. Please come check out Overflows. It's running the Ethnic Show, and that's going off Thursday, October 17th.
Thursday, October 17th. You heard it here first with Kingsbury.
Good times. All right, cool. So that's that portion.
All right. So, yeah. We don't have a lot of our little segments and our little fun stuff today. We're going to kind of just jump into this because this is the Minisode. It's not going to be an hour and a half. It's likely going to be 40 minutes. Also, we recorded this twice already.
And we fucked it up both times.
Yeah. Like last week, we met together like 3 days after, or not even 3 days, it was like 2 days after the baby came.
Yeah, and we had some fresh, raw stories about birthing.
And we were drinking tequila.
Man, it was beautifully warm outside.
And, we got a little loose.
If we ever find a way to put it on a different format, we'll release this as a bonus episode because it was beautiful.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was great.
And then I found out, because we're stuck, we don't have a laptop or anything, we're stuck using the iPhone. I accidentally used a recording thing that doesn't have a transferable format. Yeah, when I tried to email it or throw it into Dropbox, it just came off as this one weird format that did not work. So,
all this talk of Pilsner has made me thirsty for Pilsner.
I have to finish this IPA. It's really strong. It's a 6.5. Like a good IPA has a good 6 to 7% alcohol content. So, I just drink them a little bit slower than the average.
Fair enough. This was only a 4.3, the extra.
Oh, yeah.
Roger that. And it's got this cool B-17 Flying Fortress, 1940s scripted anime, dropping kegs of beer like they are bombs. It's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. And it has where the hops are coming from.
As most cans do. I think we talked enough about Overflow.
Yeah, fine. Birthing stories. So Champ's birthing story was pretty crazy.
There we go.
Champ's birthing story. Wow. How long was she in active labor for?
Okay, so I guess we have to start. So our due date was the 15th of August, right? And the 15th came and the 15th went. We hit the 17th, and then at 2 p.m. her water broke. It was
Niagara Falls.
Well, yeah, it started off we were still kind of just lying in bed because we felt like something was gonna happen and we were taking it slow. And then she's I was just getting out of the shower and she is I think my water broke. I sat up and I think my water broke. I was like, okay, well, you should call the hospital and let them know. And then she, like, called them, and then as she stood up, like... So we went to the hospital, obviously. It turns out that everybody and their dog was having a baby on August 17th. So her water had broken, but contractions hadn't started yet, right?
Yeah, so they sent you back home.
So, they originally, because they don't want you to be like that for more than 12 to 24 hours. 24-hour max. So because her water broke at 2 p.m., they said, we'll induce you at 2 a.m. And then we were getting ready for a 2 a.m. inducement, and then they came, like, later in the evening. They're like, bitches be having babies. There's no room. We don't have a person to induce. Like, we will not have anyone to induce. So you just need to go home. We cannot bring this baby before 6 a.m. unless she comes naturally. So we showed up the next morning at, like, 6, and they decided to wait it out because contractions hadn't really started. Well, they had just started, but they're, like, you know, long.
Wild, yeah.
I didn't sleep that night at all. I was just like, every, like, 30 minutes, I was like, hey, you okay? We good? Are we going to the hospital? I was like ready to go.
Yeah, which is super annoying. Right,
so
ladies?
I hadn't slept. It's now noon, and I pass out. Right?
Yeah.
I pass out like face first into the bed, like just like I'm sitting in the chair, face in the bed, and I'm just sleeping. Somehow I ended up on the floor. I don't know how I ended up on the floor, but I wake up. And what had happened in this period of time while I was asleep, because everything happened while I was asleep and nobody woke me up, is she went from like 3 centimeters to 10 centimeters in a period of like 15 minutes.
Whoa.
They were concerned because we were now over 24 hours since the water had broken, and they were showing like heart distress from baby. Kate had developed a fever over the last 2 hours, so they're now worried about infection for baby. So they are now inducing, and Kate's pushing, and Kate's pushing, and Kate's pushing. And then suddenly, like, I wake up to, all right, it's time to push, right? And, like, I was like, what? Like, nobody... And they'd also discussed the possibility of a C-section while I was asleep, right?
Wow.
Like, we're just kind of... And Kate wakes up, and I'm like, she's just super calm, and she's like, all right, it's time to go. And so, like, I wake up from, like... I go from 0 to 100 in, like, 4 seconds. Because it's like, what's going on? Why is everyone here? And it's like, oh, okay, push! We got this. Baby comes out... Well, they had to suction the baby.
Yeah,
there was trauma. There's lots of trauma. Baby had swallowed, or the baby's lungs had filled with meconium, as well as the stomach had filled with meconium because of how long she'd been in there, and when the heart distress went up, so they had to vacuum her out. And they were really quick about it. Like, they were literally like, to me, they're like, Dad, when this baby comes out, you have like 5 seconds to snap a picture to show Mom, because Mom's not going to get to see this baby for a while. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm holding my phone out. Baby comes out, snap photo. So I've got a photo now that I can use against the baby in the future. Whenever she lies, I'd be like, I have a photo when you were literally full of shit.
Wait, I'm going to take one more now. Click. Because you're also full of shit.
Side by side. There's your shit faces. Your shit faces right there. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, but everything worked out great. And
like
the first 24 were pretty kind of touch and go.
40, well, not touch and go. Like, because what they had to do, the first thing they did is they pumped her lungs, and they pumped her stomach, and they did that so quick. Like, I was following them. So the baby comes out, I snap the photo, follow them. I took the photo back later after. And they're literally tubes in nose, tubes in mouth right away, sucking. I take a second to show Kate, here's our baby. She's great. I gotta go. Special care unit, right? And then they walk me out with the baby while they're still, like, pumping shit out. And they hook her up to a machine to kind of suck it out through her nose and her mouth. They hook her up to a CPAP machine so she can get oxygen, because she's got very low oxygen levels. And then they have to do the chest x-rays. So they were working on her for about 25 minutes.
Wow.
In total. Like, it was good. Like, it took a while for her to cry. She was on the CPAP and she was on a stomach pump for about 24 to 36 hours. We couldn't breastfeed her for the first 18. And we're gonna do a little bit of an episode later about breastfeeding, because
shit,
that's a motherfucking bitch. So she's in the NICU,
Yeah.
and we were at the Queensway Carleton Hospital in Ottawa,
That's where
and
Eddie
they're
and Rebecca were
fantastic.
both. Yeah,
there.
super
They
great
have they've got a brand new birthing unit, and their staff minus one NICU nurse was fantastic. And like she was just aggressive and loud, like she just pushing formula all the time, and the big part of here is because she wasn't able to breastfeed for the first 18 hours. She'd gotten used to just because they had her on an IV and they were giving her like sugar saline, like just through a syringe in the mouth. So she'd gotten used to for the first 18 hours of life that food comes once something enters the mouth. You don't have to work for it. So when we were trying to latch, that became problematic at the 18-hour mark because she's like, no, food just comes into my mouth. And it's still too early to like really be pumping high qualities, and I'm fondling my breasts like it's me
pretty hot.
doing it.
I'm not gonna lie. Also very disturbing at the same time. Yeah. So, but yeah, no. Amanda didn't have such luck with producing Eddie McCloskton. Nothing with Eddie. Maybe a little bit like. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. She ended up having 22 hours of active labor, and she went 12 of them to 13 of them without taking any sort of drugs.
Why?
Because she wanted to have it naturally. She was just, I can fucking do it. And then I was like, sure, it's crazy.
That's so stupid.
But don't worry, she eventually went for the drugs, but she held it out as long as she could.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
I know people who've done it, but I'm just like, why? We are smart enough to have created a pain reliever so you can give birth and experience this joy without feeling like your body's being ripped in two.
Can we just say props to the ancestors before?
Oh my God, fucking A, pour some out for them.
Pour some in, as the case may be.
And here's the thing: is like I really like Kate is a fucking hero, right? Because she's just like she went through this trauma. She came out of it, like she went through the struggle with breastfeeding, and it was like his now like she owns that shit. And you know, other than like just not getting sleep, she's a fucking champ. It's just if I had to do it, if I had to be the one. We wouldn't have a baby.
No. If it were up to us guys, there's not many guys up to this challenge at all.
No. She's definitely the rock in this. Like I support her any way I can, but like here's what I'm learning shit. But yeah, so with
Eddie,
she was 12 hours?
Yeah, she was 12 hours, no drugs.
12 hours, no drugs.
And like 4 centimeters dilated, and then she was just like, no, I'm done. I'm done with this. And since they gave her the drugs, she relaxed, and over the next 10 hours, Eddie was born. Because, they gave her the drugs at 2 a.m., and Eddie was born at 11.
Okay.
So, and then she just relaxed, and it was natural.
Well, it's good, too, because, like, it takes off a lot of that pressure.
Yeah, because, like, her water broke the day before or something. Like, there was, like, an 8-hour window before active labor started. Okay. Right, so, like, she woke... How
long were you guys in the hospital with Eddie?
Oh, 2 days.
2 days? Like, right into your room and everything?
Yeah.
See, we because we were there, but we didn't have our baby in our room.
No.
Which was weird. And everyone had a baby, so as much as we'd signed up for a private room, like, on the wait list for 10 days, it was like, they're like, there's no private room, so they put us in a semi-private room, but they're like, because you guys didn't have a baby, like, you don't have your baby with you, we're not going to put anyone else in here.
And
then they did.
That was totally
they did, and they brought in a baby. So I went out because we'd ordered a pizza because we were starving. We'd been going for like 24 hours, right? And so I was going out to pick up the pizza, and Kate's parents were leaving with me. And I saw the nurse that was for the couple beside them, and I made this comment, like, I don't really snore that bad, but I was just like, I feel so bad for that couple that are in there with us tonight, because I snore so loud. And, like, you know, so loud that we were concerned about this, like, waking our baby and disturbing our baby. And now they're not going to get to sleep because their baby's going to be crying every 3 hours or every 2 hours to feed. And when they're awake, they're not going to be able... And, like, I'm just kind of going into this really loudly down the hallway. And you can see, like, the nurse, like, looks up from charting as she's hearing the story get closer. And then she's like, She disappears. And then I get a text from Kate 5 minutes later being like, all right, they're moving us to a private room. So we got our private room. And then we were there a little bit longer because they kept her in the special care for 48 hours before giving her to us. And then they wanted her to stay one more night with us.
Yeah.
So we were there for 3 nights, 4 days.
Yeah.
Actually, technically 5 days because they didn't admit us the first.
Yeah.
It felt like home, except for that. Did you sleep there?
Yeah.
Yeah, did they have a bed for you?
No, they had fold-down chair.
The fold-down chair that's like a piece of plastic block?
Yeah.
And it's like covered in that like super thick, clear vinyl shit?
Yeah, I guess it's covered in that now, sure.
It was awful.
Yeah, it was the worst, one of the worst sleeps ever. And I've been fucking high on drugs and passed out in weirder spots. I was like, this thing is torture. This is the worst torture.
I went to a physio.
Bring a fucking cot, parents to be.
The couple that were in the semi-private with us for those few minutes, they brought a blow-up mattress, and I was like, oh my god, that if we're never having another one, but like
that makes sense. That makes me want to donate like camping like cots to like
the hospital,
and I'd be like, let's take a pool on.
Well,
this
here's the thing though, is like. The woman has been the one that's been uncomfortable this whole time, right? Yeah. We haven't really experienced any uncomfort yet. So this is kind of like our penance. Like, I feel like we're totally, like, this is kind of like...
Also, probably a ball shot from the kids once a year. So, that's what Amanda says anyway. When I get bagged, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, it's an uncomfortable sleep. Erica's was way quicker. Erica's only actually took 6 hours of active labor with one push.
What?
Yeah. The second one was way easier for Amanda. She felt like she was going to die, like, in the first trimester and the second trimester, just because, like, everything with meat was horrible, and it was the worst pregnancy. She did crave fish at certain point in time. She's like, I need you to cook me fish. And I'm like, what? She's like, yes, you must do it. I can just bring it in, Tilapia, whatever. I'm just like, wow, that's my child in there. That's awesome. And then, I went to work, got the guys started. I got called to the hospital. And, I was eating M&M peanuts at the time, not thinking, oh, we got some more time happening with this. We're just having a snack, me and the wife's friend Jen there, and a friend of mine too. And we just didn't think it was happening. And then all of a sudden, the Jamaican delivery nurse was like, don't push, lady. We have to get those same people who pull the poo out. Yeah. Right? They're like, oh, we see that the poo. So, like, they called that team in, the meconium in. And, like, they brought the team in, and then Erica came out with one push. And it was just like no active airway. It was almost like she took her shit and she was like, it's time to leave. And then like left the door that was easy to leave because she's already had a kid. Yeah. Right? And then because they didn't have any shit. They went to suction her out and they're like, no, there was nothing in her mouth at all. I was like, that's crazy.
I've actually been, like, I've heard a lot of stories because I've told a lot of people this story. And, like, they say that it's actually very common for girls to end up inhaling.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And a little bit more so than the guys. I don't know the truth to that because I'm just hearing this as, like, first-hand stories from people that have had birth.
I think what Trav is trying to say is women eat a lot of shit.
That's not what I'm saying. Don't do that to us.
All right.
Jesus.
Right. Sorry.
We're in our infancy.
It's a period piece. Anyway,
God damn.
No, I know. That was Erica. Erica
with
bam.
With Eddie.
We were only there 2 nights.
2 nights.
Yeah, not even.
Okay. With Eddie, you weren't even close to home, right?
No.
You were like in Petawawa.
I was working in Petawawa on Canadian Forces Base Petawawa, and I got the call at like 9-10 in the morning. I was like, oh my god, it's just about coffee. I made the drive from Petawawa to Carp in around 48 minutes.
And that's like an hour and a half drive.
Yeah. I highly not advised of her driving like that in any sort of sane conditions, but it was a beautiful fall afternoon. I had the Mazda 6 with the paddle shift. It was fun. I mean, I was really driving towards my son.
And if the police are listening, this is a story.
Yeah, this is something made up.
Yes.
Just talk about the Canadian Forces and their awesomeness.
You can't prove anything.
You can't prove it. If I gotten pulled over and I'd just been like, man, she's literally in labor right now. And usually cops are pretty great about understanding on that one.
think they would have like turned on their siren and be like, "Follow me."
I've heard that happen in a couple instances for sure. I've heard that happen, but that never happened. I got to the hospital and I was like, "Let's go," and she's like, "No, it was a light water break. It was like she was like lightly peeing."
Yeah. Maybe she was.
She was because the water had broke, right? She's like, I know it's not me peeing, but like, I know this water just keeps coming, especially when I tip a certain way or like sit up and like get up. So we got into the hospital like in the morning. They discharged us at like 6 or 7 o'clock, being like, "Yeah, you're not in active labor yet. You're not really dilated at all. Your water is broke, so come back when you start to feel something." And they discharged us, and I was like, "Sorry, baby." She's like, "Yeah, you probably had lots of time." And then I felt like a total asshole for driving crazy like that and just be like, "I did that for nothing."
Well, it's also your first kid, right?
That's right.
Like,
you get a little bit
you get
hyped up.
Yeah, you get super hyped up.
So she eats. We take her Harvey. She has a cheeseburger because meat finally tastes good again. I'm like, "Oh, right on." And get back to sleep, and she passes out and passes out around 9 o'clock, and woke up at like 12:30, just in excruciating pain. Like a contraction had start, and she went through, oh God, a lot of time with the pain.
So here's the thing, is there's lots of pain, there's lots of trauma, yet on our birthdays, we celebrate the person that was born.
I know, right?
We need to change that shit up.
What if there was a day we could celebrate mothers? Maybe we could put it sometime in May.
Well, no. But here's the thing: it's like Mother's Day is a bullshit holiday.
Oh, it totally
right?
is. It's a pretty consumerist. Like, hey, let's take Mom out to a nice, expensive brunch.
Let's seriously like give Mom her day that's more than her birthday, because on her birthday we should be celebrating your fucking grandma.
Yeah.
Right?
We're doing that shit without drugs.
Without drugs, and they also didn't have like, good recreational drugs to help with the pain afterwards either.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Opium? Was opium? I don't know.
Opium has been around forever. There's been 2 fucking wars.
Well, I'm trying to think about, like, my grandparents are from, like, the Bruce Peninsula, right? Like, so I don't know if my grandma would have been, like, smoking opium.
Yeah, fair enough. Just the heroin there, and not the real opium, right? Well, don't you know? You're going to smoke that off the point there. It's like the sailors brought in.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's a good Grandma Wrightson.
Never met the lady. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, a tale of 2 stories. We want you to send in your birth stories if you have.
Yeah, like because everyone has a unique one. We want to hear yours. So you can tell us on Facebook.
We got Daddy Issues.
No,
well,
Daddy Issues with Champion Kingsbury.
Yeah,
right? That's
right,
Facebook is Daddy Issues with Champion Kingsbury.
I smoke weed with you. I always forget stuff.
Yeah, I know, man. On Instagram, we're at We Got Daddy Issues. Yeah.
Yep.
On Twitter, we're at We Got Dad Issues because there wasn't
enough.
They didn't have enough character spaces, so We Got Dad Issues. You can email them in. We got daddyissues@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We will maybe read them on air. We'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely not be watching any videos you send of us because we're not watching birth videos. But just tell us a story. That's cool.
Really, what we want to hear is we want to hear the story about afterbirth.
Yes, mostly what the placenta to you looked like and how did it taste.
Like and subscribe.